Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramakrishna. Thank you, Tapas and Basil, for the relevant readings. As Basil told in his introduction, the difference between the jivas are out. In Swamiji's experience of his Atman, so as he said very nicely, the reader and the listeners, none such a difference exists because we are all one. The oneness of the universe is a very important point spoken in Hinduism. And Vedanta, in whatever philosophy you adopt, whether it is the Dvaita or Vishishtadvaita or Advaita, the main three philosophies, and there are other philosophies also there, but this oneness of the universe is a very moot point, and it has been accepted by everyone. All the sages have experienced the oneness with the others. So the question comes, who I am? So that is what Vivekananda says. Vivekananda says, I shall be a voice without form. A voice without form. For many, many years, his voice will remain. Though we may forget the form, doesn't matter. But the voice will remain. So what does that voice say to us? It says that each soul is potentially divine. The divinity of each of us has not been denied. So from that, as a sutra, as a basis, from that all the other, whether moral things or ethical items, everything are derived. So once you fix a main sutra that each soul is potentially divine, you get all the morality. In one place, Swamiji funnily says, why should I not steal from you? Why should I not cut your hand? Why should I not pick your pocket? Then he gives the answer. Because I cannot do that because, not because the civil police is there, not because the jail system is there, not because the justice system is working. Not all those things. From the spiritual point of view, he says, because I am thou. I am you only. So if I steal from your pocket, I am stealing from my own pocket. If I cut your hand, I am cutting my own hand. This non-differentiation between one person to another person, or with all, including the trees, the plants, the mountains, the rivers, everything that you find in the nature, there is oneness. That's why when you go to a natural, beautiful place, you are feeling absorbed. Sometimes it is so overwhelming. It is because you can see the reflection of yourself there. What you are seeing there, not this physical, limited body and mind, but we are seeing our own Atman. Unknowingly, we are experiencing some of the top level bliss at that time. It's called Ananda. The bliss comes at that time. When the bliss comes unknowingly, that means you have experienced the oneness, but you are unable to say it in words because we have not been taught. So the oneness is an important point in Vedanta, and Swamiji says that's one he has to do it. If you see his life, as Tapas was reading the portion, Sister Nivedita noted a very important personality aspect of Swami Vivekananda. What is that? He doesn't want to rise at the cost of somebody else. When he was denied admission in the hotels in America at that time, what did they say? You are a Negro, not understanding an Asian and a Negro, Africans, the difference between them, because both look like brownish or little darkish. So that is Negro. And he never did tell the hotel people, no, I am not a Negro. I am from the Asian continent. I am not from Africa. He never said that. Why he didn't say? Because he didn't want to raise at the cost of another race. For him, the universalism is that motto. Everyone is his brother. Everyone is his sister. That's why in Chicago place, when the Chicago Parliament of Religions, when he stood there before the audience, he addressed the Simply the 5 words only he said. Sisters and brothers of America, he said. And the clapping went on for 3 minutes. He couldn't proceed further. He had to stop. Of course, there was no mic system at that time. He was moving on the dais and he was talking. So considering everyone as brother and sister, particularly the underprivileged, that is something, a beautiful analysis Sister Nivedita has made about Swamiji. You find in Belur Mutt, when Belur Mutt was established, so Sri Ramakrishna's puja was to be done. So who is going to do that? So Swami Premananda was selected. He was one of the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. And he had such a great love for Ramakrishna. He said, you do this puja. So every day he used to go and do the puja. So before puja, there are certain things we have to do. Like you have to take the flowers, pick the flowers, put it in a plate. Then you have to keep chandan. You have to have dhoop and etc. And then naivedyam, what you have to offer. That needs to be ready. So everything is made ready. Every day you would make ready and you would sit there and do the puja. And when he does the puja, Premananda was all overwhelmed, seeing Sri Ramakrishna before his mental eyes. One day, Swami Vivekananda entered just before the start of the puja. And Premananda has made everything ready. And when Swamiji comes, none of the direct disciples, all of them were together only. Under Ramakrishna, they were all young boys. But now it is different. When Swami Vivekananda entered the temple, Premananda immediately got up. And he was shaking. He said, yes, Naresh, what do you want me to do? He said, today, you won't do this puja. Then Premananda got stuck. What is this? Is there any mistake in my puja that he is not allowing me to do puja today? He said, go to Belur village. Bring 10 boys who are from the abject poverty-ridden homes. Bring them here. And then make them have nice bath in the Ganges. Give them new clothes and worship them. That is the puja for you today. And then Swamiji sat there. And he doesn't believe in all these rituals. Swamiji was a little away from these rituals. What he did, the moment he sat, his mind went up and up. And it was immersed in Ramakrishna. So all the flowers were there. In puja, there are a lot of rules are there. You can't put a white flower on, say, on Ganesha. For Ganesha, it is a red flower has been indicated. So for Shiva, you cannot put a yellow flower. The white flower is indicated. Like that, there are certain rules are there in puja. Our pujaris will know that. Where is the pujari? So they know that. So different colors of flowers are chosen for different types of deities. Of course, it's got a very scientific meaning is there. I'm not going into that. But Swamiji sat there, took all the flowers in both the hands, and then he offered. That's all, his puja is over. He got up and waiting for Premananda. And Premananda went to the village and found out the most shacks, as we say in South Africa, shacks, like the poorest of the poor people living. In that corner he went and got the 10 boys and told them, hey, come, today I am going to feed you from the mud. So the boys, they like feeding. Said, okay, let us go. And all the 10 boys came. And then Swamiji stood there in the Ganges shore, and then he saw how these boys were nicely given bath with the soap, etc. Then they came out, and new clothes were there. They were given the clothes, and then they were given the food. You see, worshipping God in man, we are hearing as a theory. But have we practiced in our life? Hardly we have practiced. Because in our own families, we have spouses, whether it's husband or wife, or children. Do we ever think that those who are staying with me are the reflections of the God in them? We do not. We take them to task, and we may be harsh sometimes, and all because we forget there is a divinity within that soul. We consider a person with a name and form. See, this is the name, this is the form, and this is my relationship. That's all. But beyond that, are we able to raise and think that my own Atman which is inside me is present in this? And another quality which Nivedita has pointed out there, he is so humble. Swami Vivekananda was not boasting type. He was humble. I think this quality has come from his master, because we find in Dakshineswar, Sri Ramakrishna was there, and he has become already famous as a Paramahansa of Dakshineswar temple. So people used to come from far away, and in Calcutta everybody knows. And the Keshav Chandra Sen, who was king of the Bengal speakers, and young Bengal, as they used to say, young Bengal used to come and listen to Keshav's speeches. His speeches are marvelous. And that Keshav Chandra Sen has told everywhere, wherever he went, he talked about Paramahansa. And because of Paramahansa, my life has been a blessed one, like that he used to say. So Paramahansa's name has spread far and wide. At that time, some people have heard about Paramahansa. They came one day to Dakshineswar. And they are going here and there. Kali temple is there, then Radhakanta temple is there, then Shiva temples are there. So one by one they are looking, and then they wanted to know, where does this Paramahansa sits? And they had an idea. Paramahansa means, you must have a jata, big hair would be there, and he may be having lot of Rudraksha malas, some 10, 15 malas he may be having, and he will have a kamandalu. All those things they were talking among themselves. And they were coming. And they found at one place, some plants were there, and one Mali, that gardener. One gardener was working there. So they approached him. They say, come Mali, what they call Mali, a gardener. So he said, Mali, come here. So he slowly left his tools, then he got up and he came nearer to them. He said, what do you want? He said, no, we want to know, where does this Paramahansa stay here? So he said, you go this way, turn left, and there is a room is there, and there only he stays. So these people went. And they saw already some people are sitting in that room. So they also sat, waiting for Paramahansa. And slowly the man enters. Everybody got up. They were surprised to see the same very Mali is now entering here. He never told them, no, whom you are searching for, I am that person. You see that I-ness completely absent. Can you imagine these spiritual people, they have to rise above these levels of I and me, and they have gone like that. So Swamiji's, some people ask me, Vivekananda, this is, as you said, 158th birthday. So 157 years before he was born. And he lived so long back. Is he relevant today in the modern world? For me, that question itself is irrelevant. I see Vivekananda not as a personality with that turban and with that flowing robes, that orange robe that he has. I don't see him like that. I see Vivekananda as an idea. Ideas never die. Swami Vivekananda says in Raja Yoga, if you go to the topmost Himalayan mountain and sit in a cave and send 5 ideas to the society down below, those ideas will travel and permeate the society and fill the society. The ideas I have got, that is the thoughts, have got so much power. I have heard from some of the devotees whose children are abroad and they are studying or working like that. And the mothers would tell, Maharaj, yesterday I felt about my son, and then I closed my eyes, and during my puja, I sent good wishes to him. I said to his health should be all right. I sent the thoughts to him. And next day he rang up. Yesterday I was about to fall down from the bus. I would have got hurt, but somehow God's grace saved me. He doesn't know the mother's prayers have saved him. You see, you can know that when the danger is coming. The Twin Tower that was destroyed in America, in New York. At that time, one lady, the moment the news came to Ranchi, I was in Ranchi at that time, several mothers came to us. And then they were sitting in the temple and praying to Master. And one of the ladies, the son, was working in the Twin Tower office. So since news were not coming further than that, because all the telephone lines were jammed, if you remember that period, at that time. In India it was terrible, and people were simply wondering what has happened to our sons. And then one lady was praying there. She came and told me, Swamiji, the good news. He was, as usual, had his breakfast, prepared everything, and got into the bus that takes him to the towers. But that bus got delayed 10 minutes. And when we were nearing the Twin Towers, we saw the Twin Towers burst. So he was saved. Now this lady, you see, she has been only praying. So sending the good thoughts can change your course of life. Are we doing that? How many of us sitting here, our relatives are there at different places, distant places. If you hear anybody is suffering from anything, immediately on that day you should sit and pray and send your thoughts. Those thoughts will strengthen that person's the tenacity to face those challenges. So the thoughts are wonderful. So Swamiji says, even if you think in a cave, closed cave, that thought will come to the society and then permeate it, he says. So we find that Swamiji's thoughts are so wonderful. For instance, education. I am taking 2-3 fields in the modern days. Education. How much education has grown up in every country of this world? You cannot believe there were many villages or districts were there in India which did not have even one school. And then slowly after independence, we have got schools. If you take India, that now it is almost every village has got one school. And the school education has come very fast. And people are able to go up to the class 10 without making any extra payment. The government bears all the expenses in all the states. No state you have to pay unless you go for a hi-fi private schools. You have to pay. Otherwise, in all government schools, it is free education now. Now education has come up. And people also have gone to higher institutions. And then what is the result now? You find the more people are educated in the normal sense, you find the people are obsessed with certain ideas of stress. The stress has become a very big issue now. That's why anywhere you put a lecture and putting that word stress, so it's all very popular, you know. Even people are ready to pay 200, 300 euros to go and attend the course to de-stress yourself. So the de-stressing has become a very big thing. And you find that that word has become very important. I met one gentleman. He came to our New Delhi center. So I was talking to him. So he gave a lecture, very beautiful and very informative as well as inspiring lecture he gave. You should not stress, that is what is core point. And then evening he has to be taken to airport. So I was with him and took him to airport, and unfortunately his flight was cancelled. And you must see the stress that man was having. So I had to calm him down. I said, you just gave us a beautiful lecture there. And then now you are so much stressed. Wait, what is there? Like you, there are 300 passengers are there. What is going to happen to you? The 300 passengers also will be happening. So they will take some action. So don't worry, don't stress. Just sit and be quiet. Like that, I had to calm him down. So that type of stress speakers are also there. Now you see, Swamiji says one beautiful idea for stress relief. He says, so long as you do your duties, so long as you perform activities with the idea that I am the doer, then stress will come. You cannot avoid that. When that I comes there, and I is always associated with so many things, and stress is one of them. I am the doer. You think the stress will be definitely there. I am studying for the examination. If a student thinks, stress will be there. I am doing my advocacy. A lawyer thinks like that. He will have lot of stress. Like that in each field you see. If you say, I am the doer, then stress will come. So Swamiji says, think. Every day you do lot of work, it's all right. Every time or doing the time of performing an activity, you will not be able to think. You are not the doer. But there is a night time. There is a time where you are going to sleep. Why don't you utilize that sleeping time? Just before lying down and sleep, say 2 minutes, you sit on your bed and think. In Raja Yoga, Swamiji says, you think God is the ultimate doer. And he has given me today the privilege to do certain activities, which I have done by his grace. So all the results of this should go to God. Like that you must think and then go to sleep. Then next day you will find there is no stress with you because you are not the doer. That's why there is a beautiful hymn. We teach the Balagokulam children here. Kayena vacha manasendriyerva buddhyatmanava prakrite subhava karomi yatyat sakalam parasmai narayana iti samarpayami. So that is a very beautiful verse. It says whether by physically or by mouth, that is by words, or by mentally thinking, or by for the 5 sense organs, or by my own intrinsic nature. With all these things I am performing an action. So with whatever I do, yatyat karomi, whatever I do, sakalam, everything, Narayana iti samarpayami. Say that, oh Narayana, this is all done by you. Then you won't get stressed. So this is a very beautiful sentiment that thought Swamiji gives. And take up this health sector. The health sector has grown very wonderfully. You know how much research has gone and how many crores of monies are spent in building hospitals. And the modern hospitals are something like a 5-star hotels. Some of the modern hospitals you go and see, even in Bombay, once I went with one Swami and to see the hospital, it was like a 5-star hotel. Like. So much of facilities are there. And the technology also has improved so much. But there was recently a report in a country called Libya. You must have heard Libya. Libya, there was a corruption case running to several crores of dollars in the health sector. They found it out. And then they started, the public started, wanting inquiry, etc. What has happened is, there is a connection between a doctor and the nurses and the other agency, that is insurance agency. There is a connection. So each one is paid in one other way, and then apart from the salary, so they get extra money from whom? From the patients. So this has become a rampant corruption in the health sector. Why this rampant corruption has come? Because we forget the teaching of Swami Vivekananda. How he is relevant even today. He says, when a sick man comes before you, think that Narayana has come in this form. It was not his own idea, mind you. Sri Ramakrishna taught him. What did he say? He said, Shiva Jnane Jiva Shiva, Jiva Sheva. What a beautiful sentence, 4 words only. Shiva Jnane, in the knowledge of Shiva, Jiva Sheva, service to humanity. What a beautiful idea. If every doctor, every nurse and everyone in the health profession adopts this idea of Swamiji, you will find there will be no corruption at all. And the service to the patients will be done to the maximum extent. So likewise, you take any walk of life, you take any branch of our lives, you find Swamiji's teachings are very, very relevant even today. That's why we say, please read Swami Vivekananda. He has got a major works, there are 4 yogas are there. So Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga. Those 4 yogas are wonderful. That one you must read it. And then you can go to the other things of Swamiji's telling. But if you want to know Swamiji's personality as such, there is no better book than Sister Nivedita's writings. How this wonderful lady born in Ireland and became the disciple of Swami Vivekananda and went all the way to India and sacrificed her entire life for the India's regeneration. That is what Swamiji said. I want to regenerate this country. The country has gone into tamas. That means lethargy. It has got nothing to do. Everything seems to be dead here. I want to come and work for the development of this country. And that lady went from here, leaving all her comforts. If you read Nivedita's life, you will get tears the moment she went and landed in Calcutta port, and how Swami Vivekananda himself came to the port and received her and took her inside. And that from that time onwards, she is facing challenge after challenge after challenge. And how she met all those challenges? Only with the grace of her Guru, Vivekananda. And if you read, that's why Nivedita's life history is a wonderful, inspiring story for us. And it always gives us, wherever we go, we say that how that young lady of only 22-year-old, she decided to go to India and then serve the people. Can you imagine a person of that age can think like that? Unless extraordinarily she was endowed, it must be, because she was a wonderful person to write and think also. And she noted Vivekananda, she has travelled with Vivekananda up to Amarnath. She has gone with him to Jammu and Kashmir, and then other places in North India, and then in Western India. And wherever she was accompanying Swami Vivekananda, she would watch him so thoroughly. She says it was 2 days after Durga Puja is being celebrated. That is, Ashtami is coming. And in Calcutta, I know it's a very big festival. But Swamiji was in Kashmir. He was in a boat house. You know, if you go to Kashmir, you can see that boat house. You can go and stay also. And that boat will take you everywhere in the river. And Jhelum river is there. And you can stay there. And in that boat house, Swamiji was staying with the Western disciples. Western disciples, including Nivedita, was there. And some American disciples also were there. And suddenly, he told the boatman, who was a Muslim. He said, I find your cute daughter here. She was about 5 to 6 years age. And the girl used to come and talk to Swamiji. So he said, now Ashtami is coming. Will you give me permission to worship that girl as a divine mother? He was surprised. He has never heard this system. And he said, well, Swami, you seem to be a great man, because all these Sahib ladies, so they are called Sahib ladies. So the Sahib ladies are worshipping you like God. So if you want to do worship to my daughter, I have no problem. So he brought her daughter in front, and he sat before that girl and deemed her as a divine mother Durga and worshipped her. What a wonderful, see, there is no difference. Whether it is religious difference or a sectarian difference, you don't find in Vivekananda. He was a universal man. If you make him divine, of course that is your benefit only. Otherwise, simply consider him as a universal man. That itself is a great development or evolution in our thought. So with these few words, I welcome all of you, and then once again, and we will have some bhajans now. After that, there will be a vote of thanks by Supta, and then Supta will give you some information also. And then I would like to say, some people ask me, Maharaj, you are not telling often about the new center that you have got here in Dublin and how the center is running. Well, the food is taken care of by the devotees, no doubt, but other expenses are there. So I am requesting you to give some donation to the center. If you want, you can put your cash there in the box. Donation box is there. If you want a receipt, you can go to this library room where Malavika will be there, and you can give your name and phone number and the amount total. If you give her, then she will send you the receipt later after Swami Purnanandaji's arrival. Because Purnanandaji has got, he is a treasurer, you know, so he has got that receipt book, etc. So he will be coming day after tomorrow. So after that you will get by post or by, when you are ready, we will tell you. So this is just a small announcement for all of you. And I am very happy to see so many devotees here. All of you must have prasad and go, because it is a birthday. And after the final Ramakrishna Sharanam, I would request everyone not to get up immediately, and the children are here. Who is the youngest among the children?
She went off to sleep. She went off to sleep.
Huh? Oh, she is sleeping, okay. Okay, at that time if she gets up.
2 more girls there in the other room.
Where? Who is the youngest?
In the library.
2 more girls there.
Okay.
The library, yeah.
Okay, let us see. So you keep 2 girls at least ready, and Georgiana will guide the children how to light the candle and then cut the cake. So you hold the child's hand and then cut the cake. Yes. So in that way we shall have a birthday function, you know. It's like this. So Western way also we shall do that. That's nice. Because Swamiji doesn't belong to anybody. He says, who can claim me? One day somebody told him that in India, you are a born Indian. He said, Swamiji says, suddenly turned into his disciple Chakravarti. He says, who can claim me in this world? I belong to the world, he said. Really, his ideas are world moving now. And there are plenty of people, intelligentsia we find. Research is being done on Swamiji. In Bangkok, I went to a university. It is a Buddhist university, Chula Lankan University. There Rabindranath Tagore had been there. So the Buddhist monks were sitting. So one young monk came to me. He said, Swamiji, I am here. I said, what you are doing in the university? He said, no, I am doing research. Oh, what's your subject? I thought some religious Buddhism about. He said, on Swami Vivekananda. He said, so when you speak, you please tell him this aspect of Vivekananda, I can get some points for my research, he said. You see, people are doing research on Vivekananda now. It has become a very important thing because the world is thirsty. The world is thirsty of what? Thirsty of peace. And the world is fed up with a lot of wars. You know, we have already seen 2 world wars. We don't want the 3rd world war. We want to live happily. Our future generation must rise to the happiness. And the happiness quotient also is now increasing. So unless we raise ourselves to the universalistic ideas of Swami Vivekananda, we will never be able to evolve as a human being. You know, we accept Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. Okay, he came up to the human. After human what? He couldn't say. He simply said, no, I can't say. Because it has not happened, so I can't say. So whatever has happened, I could say. He said. But then Swamiji says, what Vedanta says for the next evolution, so we will not have horns. What we will have? We develop intellectually and spiritually. Everyone must realize that there is divinity within him. That is the highest goal of evolution. So, I pray to Swami Vivekananda to bless all of us. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tatsat. Sri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu.